Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canis, our Media Relations Manager here at the USBC Open Championships alongside Aaron Smith. We are behind lanes 19 and 20 here at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. The 2014 USBC Open Championships marching on today. The defending Team All Events champions on the lanes. Junior Team USA Support 1 from Mansfield, Texas took home the title last year with a huge total of 10,247. And now they're back to put that title on the line. They had a great start in the team event yesterday. We'll have all those details and more. Practice now is over, and we're about to get underway. So thanks for joining us once again, Junior Team USA Support 1, the defending Team All Events champion here at the USBC Open Championships. And we'll be underway in just a minute. Thanks for joining us here bright and early on this Monday morning. Aaron Smith getting the cameras situated for the final time here, and the bell has rung. Competition about to start here. Here it is, first shot of the day. Matthew Tuckfield from Orlando, Florida, up on lane 20. He bowled a 300 game at the 2012 USBC Open Championships in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and came back last year, of course. He put the finishing touches on the Team All Events title. He was the last one done. He was a pair to the right and needed just 55 pins in his final game to get them to the number. He got that and a whole lot more, and they were able to hold on all the way until July. Now looking to become the first team since Lodge Lanes in 1998 to successfully defend a Team All Events title. A big task at hand, a huge number on top of the leaderboards here in 2014. Janz's HI, 10,363, nearly the highest score in history is what these guys are shooting at here in 2014. So that's more than 100 pins better than the number they put up last year to win the title. And they got a great head start yesterday, shooting 34.79 in the team event. A lot of things happening yesterday afternoon with introducing them as champions for the first time, presenting some awards, and there were some nerves and some butterflies there early. They had a rough start, started with 1050, but came back strong and finished the day with 1268. The fifth highest game in tournament history. So they are motivated, they have the momentum, and they are ready to get it done here again in 2014. Certainly they've prepared. They've got some sweet jerseys on, and notice the orange eagle on the left sleeve, and that is something that Erik Vermilyea put together for the group. And for him and Jeff Mersch, this is year number 10 on the lanes here at the Open Championships, and coming out and seeing those eagles for the first time when they bowled back then, something that they've strived for ever since, and now they are eagle owners as last year's Team All Events champs. So something that they'll always have. They'll always be champions here, always recognized at the Open Championships, part of the tournament history, and very proud of that. And it is on their sleeves to remind them of their success and their place in history.
There you go.
The 5 team members we're looking at today: Matthew Tuckfield, as I already mentioned, then Steve Novak, PBA champion Anthony LaCaze, former Junior Team USA member Jeffrey Mersch, and of course Erik Vermilyea, a former Junior Team and Team USA member, standout at the University of Nebraska as well. Once again, in yesterday's team event, 34.79, the number they put up, which is good for 5th place overall. And a great head start towards Team All Events. Last year they put up 35.21 in the team event, finished 2nd. And then, of course, had a great day in doubles and singles to get them to the title. Yesterday, LaCaze led the way with the 765 series, followed by Novak, 732. Novak, the man last year, shooting 21.53 to set the pace. He finished in the top 10 in regular all events, but 732 for him yesterday. Vermilyea 684, Tuckfield 650, and the lone left-hander, Jeffrey Mersch, 648. Mersch was the low guy last year, and he's okay with that. No matter what, if he can be the low guy every year and take home an eagle, then that is okay. But he certainly is motivated this time around. And their sixth bowler today, Kristen Warzinski. She bowled a 300 game at the USBC Women's Championships. A very talented player, now hails from California. She will be bowling doubles with Tuckfield. And these 6 players have been working hard all year long, coming from different parts of the country. Novak, a Michigan guy, Vermilyea down at the International Bowling Campus in Texas. Mersch and Tuckfield from the Orlando area, and LaCaze coming from Illinois. So they've used a lot of technology, text messaging, Facebook, video, chat, you name it, to get ready for this year. And doing a lot of communication, talking about the pattern, the practice, what equipment, certainly putting in the practice and the effort individually and communicating very well. And Aaron, one of the things that this team really does well and is very proud of is their team chemistry. They've been together for a long time at various levels of the game, from junior team USA to college, despite not living in the same. Their team chemistry seems as if they're together every day.
Yeah, Matt, that's obviously a very big key out here at the Open Championships, the ability to know each other's games very well and be able to help out, be able to talk on the lanes. Communication is a big thing out here, and it doesn't get much better than this. A lot of collegiate experience, obviously some time on Junior Team USA and Team USA for these guys. So they certainly know their way around the lanes. And I think we're in for a quite a treat today.
We started before 7. That's messed up.
It's a nice shot by Warzinski there. Matt, I heard you mention that she took over or shot 300 at the 2012 Women's Championships. She's one of 20 all-time to do that. And currently, she actually kind of prepped for her Open Championships by competing at the Women's Championships across town after the Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships stopped by for a few days. Women's Championships resumed on Saturday. Kristen's team ended up moving into the Diamond Lead. She's the current Division I all events leader as well, so certainly a good tune-up before coming out here to the National Bowling Stadium for her Open Championships experience.
Aaron, we see some touchdowns so far. And these guys just trying to get situated on this 40-foot doubles and singles lane condition.
There's 3 in a row to start for Vermilyea. Tuckfield gets the 10 to trip out late. Usually does take a few frames to kind of feel out this doubles and singles pattern. 6 minutes of practice. Teams will try to work together to kind of make them a little bit easier if they can. Obviously 6 minutes, kind of tough to get too many balls down the lane. But,
well, part of their plan, especially this year, they talked about skipping the team practice session downstairs on the track showcase lane, something they did last year, and focusing their efforts on the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships, where we have the doubles and singles pattern featured. So the opportunity to cash in over there on some additional prize money, but also get a look at this double singles lane condition. Of course, bowling 6 games on this pattern, and only so much time in the day, of course, when you're in town, but you know, a lot of great bowlers in town this week. They spent some time over there getting comfortable in the environment, on the approaches, and of course on the lane condition. And again, as you mentioned, we see with the fresh oil now, last year for the first time for every squad. Certainly a great equalizer here at the Open Championships, and something you know, that they really proved themselves last year as the true test of versatility, coming in on 2 different lane conditions for the first time, fresh oil for doubles and singles, and putting up the types of numbers that they did. But again, with the fresh oil, just to get comfortable this early in the morning, especially to break them down and just get things where you're feeling good. It seems to take a minute, you know, regardless of yesterday's momentum or anything. And again, they started yesterday with a 10:50 game. A lot of nerves and things involved with, you know, being the defending champs. All eyes on them. The big presentation beforehand. But they finished very strong with the 5th highest game in history. And again, let these lanes open up a little bit. Let these guys get comfortable. And I think we'll see some solid scores as the day progresses. All very capable players. Success at every level of the game. And very good at working together to communicate and throw good shots and move each other around. Jeffrey Mersch, of course, the lone left-hander. So he's going to need to kind of figure things out on his own, and it's probably not going to change much throughout the day. So once he gets locked in, he can repeat shots with the best of them. But it's just a matter of him getting that look and getting comfortable too. And we've seen some great left-handers have success this year. So he's got to feel pretty good about that coming in. Chris Sand made a great run, a terrific left-hander, made a Masters TV show a few years back, and he came out about a month ago and bowled well. Yesterday especially, we saw Cassidy Schaub, a former Team USA member, a 2-hander from the left side. He struggled in team a little bit, shot 585, but came back huge on this doubles and singles pattern with 750, 750.
Wow.
So he had a great day and a great look. I know Jeffrey checked that out just to see where his break point was. Cassidy, of course, being a 2-hander, is a little more arky. You know, he's able to create a little bit more room, a little more area than Jeff. But just as far as the idea and the break point, he got a real good idea off of that. Cassidy just bowled fantastic yesterday. Thought for sure we were going to see a new singles leader, and he almost shot 300 in doubles right before that. So again, Mersch has to feel pretty good being a lone left-hander, knowing that some of the lefties have had success this year, and for the rest of the guys, I think their careers certainly speak for themselves of some of the things they've accomplished and the numbers they've put up here at the Open Championships. LaCaze, a one-time PBA national champion. He was out there chasing the dream on the exempt tour and grabbed his title and missed out at the Open Championships a couple of times because of that, but returned last year just in time to help these guys pick up the win. And now he's, of course, glad to be back in the team atmosphere and helping these guys find success yet again, leading the way yesterday in the team event.
Matt, you have a stack of papers there, handwritten notes from Erik Vermilyea himself, kind of giving the rundown.
Yeah, and it's a few of the things we've already talked about a little. Again, we mentioned the Orange Eagles on their shirt, something, of course, they were very proud of growing up, understanding the prestige and the tradition here at the Open Championships, and, you know, that is the goal. is to come here and take home that eagle. And of course, team all events, it doesn't pay anything. It's all about the prestige in that event. It's the marathon, the test of versatility, the 45-game Ironman, and they did it. They accomplished it. And now, next year when we travel to El Paso, Texas, and we have our usual Daktronic scoreboards, they will see that orange eagle up there for the first time. Yesterday, here at the National Bowling Stadium, the word champion appeared next to all 5 names, and and that's what it's all about. So of course they want to celebrate that on their jersey, something that he was definitely hoping that we'd point out on today's broadcast. And again, we talked a little bit about their strategy. Very simple again. Try to play as far right on both patterns as the patterns and pairs will allow. And use balls with a little bit of surface, 2,000 to 4,000, nothing more, due to the lighter volume this year. And just trying to keep the angles square as possible. And team pattern, of course, we talked about 1050 to start and a huge finish. 1268, the 5th highest game in history. So certainly they proved that it is playable and scoreable. And having a companion team of 5 ladies, that certainly helped as well. They played further to the right to help create that room, the miss room to the right. And of course, Brandy Sanderson and Adriana, also left-hander, so they helped Mersch out a little bit with breaking down the pattern a little bit. So a lot of strategy involved here for these guys, but again, they have great knowledge of the game and lane play and equipment, and communicated from across the country to put their strategy in motion. And also, for the first time in their 10-year history, matching jerseys and the Pride Award. Another thing they're very proud of yesterday. A lot of teams, we see that, they'll come out and they'll build great and they'll win. And then they'll see their picture on Bull.com and realize that, they might be a team, but they didn't look like a team. And now, all 10 players were in the same jerseys, and certainly really creating that team feel. And that only makes it that much better, I think. Just feeling it too. So these guys looked the part this year and had a great performance yesterday, and just getting loose here in doubles and singles.
It's the first miss from Anthony LaCaze today. Start with the front 5 before the 10 pin there. It looked like a ball change for Vermilyea. After he went high for a few shots.
Erik Vermilyea is one of those guys that we certainly have our eyes on. I wrote a story about him in 2005 when he was just making his way onto the scene here at the Open Championships. And very Mike Shady-like numbers. His low set in 9 Open Championships appearances so far, 1893. Of course, Shady has never shot under 1900 in almost 20 years. Vermilyea not far behind, 1893 in 2006. But he's been solid, 1900, 2097 last year, and a high of 2104 here at the National Bowling Stadium in 2010. So he certainly is very comfortable on the lanes here at the MBS, and got to have a ton of confidence coming back here after winning in this building in 2013. So again, that is why Erik Vermilyea is part of my fantasy team all events, because he quietly gets it done here, and he is always ready to put up solid numbers, and that's what I'm hoping for again this year. One of those guys that, he kind of blends into the team, just surrounds himself with talent. We see that a lot with a guy like Gail Myers Jr., who's the lifetime average leader, but probably the least talked about guy on his team, just because, besides the fact he's about a foot shorter than everybody else. But those guys all have tons of accolades and different roles on the team, and his role is to go out there and throw great shots and put up numbers and quietly do it. And Erik kind of in the same boat. Although he's the voice of the team, he's the talker for sure. When we saw that last year, they joked around yesterday when we offered the opportunity to say a few words after the awards presentation. They said the best way to get Steve Novak to stop talking is to hand him a microphone. because he shies away from the attention, believe it or not. But Erik, the voice of the team, but quietly blends in when it's time to get it done on the lanes. Here's LaCaze up on the left, the 2009-10 PBA Rookie of the Year. Again, solid day yesterday, 765. And in the final game, 1268, he had the front 10 before leaving an uncooperative, wiggly 4-pin is the best way to describe it. Should have gone, could have gone, but 289 finish for him and really kept that team going to the strong finish. But big numbers they're chasing. We mentioned it earlier, 10,363. So that is one of the highest scores all time.
So looking at his 3.6910 there, that's a little off spot. Let's see if he can. That might have made it easier. I'm not sure.
Certainly one of the tougher spares here, but those pins moved around a little bit and made that spare no issue for the right-hander. Started this game with the front 5, and now a pair of spares here in frame 6 and 7. But if they're going to get to that monster number for team all events, they got to get those breaks. The 4.9 for Novak. Those have to go along the way. Jan's HI, they bowled phenomenally in doubles and singles, and we were lucky enough to bring that to you live here on Bowl TV.
Yeah, that was a fantastic performance. A tutorial, if you will, on how to attack this doubles and singles pattern outside of actually shooing up and going out on it and going to the Storm Bowlers Journal and practicing. That's arguably the best resource out there right now is that archived live stream. And yeah, 10,363 monster number out here.
They did it absolutely right. You know, they played the lanes together. They started, you know, to the right, and they played them as a group, and they migrated left as the day progressed. Tim Damrow led the way. He's our all events leader at 22-28. He's the same ball for 9 games, and he was a little bit of a straighter player, and was able to, stay in that area and just creep left as the day progressed, and straight and hard, and got it done. Had 3 big sets, led that team. They had a few disappointments in recent years, getting close in the team events. And again, they shot 34.99, put up a sizable number, only to get beaten 24 hours later by a record score. Motion plus lanes, 35.61. So for those guys to come back and, grab the team all events lead with a winnable number, certainly. Still a long way to go till July 13th, but they're in a great position and did absolutely everything they could, averaging more than 228 in doubles and singles on this arguably difficult DS pattern at 40 feet. Very similar to last year, which was 39 feet. But we saw these guys, junior team USA support, both very well in doubles and singles, and after a great team event. So eerily similar to last year, just a few pins off pace, but trying to get some momentum here early in the morning. And again, another horrible break for Novak. Great shot, and leaves the 7. So back-to-back could have been for the former Collegiate standout. Novak's career average here, 218.5 for 9 years. Last year, his career high, 21.53 in leading this team. But some great numbers here at the National Bowling Stadium, especially. Very comfortable. Just waiting for him to get comfortable. Obviously, he's lined up, throwing good shots. Just needs some cooperation.
Yeah, a few tough breaks there. Here's LaCaze in the 8th. Talk about a rough break. Pocket 7-10. Goodness.
So if you're just joining us once again, this is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. We're live at the 2014 USBC Open Championships behind lanes 19 and 20 here at the National Bowling Stadium. And it's Junior Team USA Support 1 from Mansfield, Texas, the defending Team All Events champ, trying to make it 2 in a row for the first time since 1998. Lodge Lane's the last team to take home back-to-back Team All Events titles. And these guys with their work cut out for them, but communicating very well. Erik Vermilyea has prepared us with all of the information we could ever want about their group and their equipment and their choices. It looks like Erik is choosing to go with the Columbia Eruption Pro, the black version here in doubles and singles. He used the orange one yesterday to close out team event with a 260 game and a 684 series. So we'll have some more details about their equipment as the day progresses as well. And no doubt, if I had to bet money, I'd say that might be the ball of choice later in the day as the lanes continue to break down, but we'll see. So each of these guys with just about the max of 8 bowling balls here. So certainly prepared for anything. And we'll keep our eyes on that as the day progresses through all 6 games of doubles and singles. Right now, just game 1 of doubles. Want to give a quick shout out to Track Bowling, the sponsor of all of our Bowl TV broadcasts here from the Open Championships in 2014. Track, we do appreciate your support. And this is just one of about 30 broadcasts from Reno this year between the USBC Open and Women's Championships. So we'll be back and forth all year long. And if you missed any of the previous broadcasts, again, Jan's HI, the Team All Events leading 10,363. You might want to check that out in the archives. Just go to youtube.com/BullTV. And if you want to see how to play them right for doubles and singles, that's the team to watch, certainly. Here's Novak up on the right lane. 4-9 on this lane on his last shot. Stone 7 on the left. No issue there. All 10 pins cooperate. It's like Novak, a Storm and Roto grip guy. That's what's in his bag. Jeffrey Mersch throwing the Roto grip as well. Anthony LaCaze throwing a lot of motive stuff. Some of them pretty recognizable, so we have that working for us. Vermilyea, of course, as we mentioned, a Columbia 300 guy. So that's what's in his bag right now. Looks like the Black Eruption Pro getting it done here. So I say hello to everybody checking in the chat room. We're 300 strong here, bright and early, 7:24 here on the West Coast.
Well, it is Monday morning, so folks getting back to work, and who wants to work on a Monday anyway? Tune in to Bowl TV. Let your friends know about it. Put it up on the Facebook and the Twitters and all those fancy places, and ease into your work week with Junior Team USA support #1.
Got some fellow left-handers in the chat room as well. Chris Hester trying to take some notes from Jeffrey Mersch. Mersch only 2 strikes here in game number 1. Struggling a little bit, but the family's here. Everyone's here to watch and support, so see if these guys can get their momentum.
And we're already in the 10th frame. That first game went by pretty quickly.
Aaron, these guys have to average 229, more than 229 today, if they're going to get back to the top spot in team all events. That is a tough task, especially so far. As Tuckfield closes things out, he's under 200 here in game number 1.
That looked like a ball change, or at least trying something different on the fill ball. That looked like the IQ Fusion out there. .197 in the books. From Mr. Tuckfield.
Once again, they shot 34-79 in team yesterday. They are 5th. But that's only 500 over.
You say only.
Only. They're nearly plus 500 over par. 500 over par in the team event. And they still have to get another 800 today in order to make a run. That's unbelievable. Those are some big numbers. But they did it last year. They're certainly capable. They know they are. And again, coming in today, only 40 pins off last year's pace. So they've got 5 games left to make some magic. Novak looking like he's getting pretty comfortable after a couple bad breaks, but he's going to the bag. Looks like he's grabbing the IQ Tour Fusion as well. Gonna try something here on the fill. He's got 189 out there, but trying to get a look. I don't know, Aaron, those last couple shots seemed like they were dead perfect. They couldn't have been any better after a couple tough breaks. But I guess let's experiment here. Gets the messenger to the 10.
That was vicious.
A little bit more angle and some bank off the break point with that Tour Fusion. But I like the look he had with whatever he was doing previously. We'll see what he goes with in game number 2.
No, I agree with you, Matt. Said after a few tough breaks there, some really great shots that just were dead flush and looked like a ball change in the fill for Anthony as well, trying something different. 222. He's going to lead the way for these guys.
LaCaze led the way yesterday, 765. And again, big number on top of the individual all events. Tim Damrow, 22-28. Vermilyea can't catch a break here in game number 1 with the stone 9. But these guys very well composed considering, the slam 7, stone 9, 4-9, 7-10. Yesterday, just a couple of unfortunate breaks in the team event as well. A couple single pin misses. Vermilyea, I think, had a single pin miss and a 7-10 in game 3 on his way to 265. So they are around the pocket and just need that cooperation.
Well, we've heard it once. We've heard it a million times. Not only do you need to come out here and, obviously play the lanes the right way, make all the right ball choices along the way, but you need a little bit of luck as well. You need those few hits. I remember talking to Nicholas J's Pro Shop last year after they put on their title defense. They felt, they performed exactly how they wanted to. They just didn't catch the breaks that they had caught in 2012. And it's amazing how quickly some of those hits can drop your score from, in the team event from a, 33.50 to a 32 and change all of a sudden. Well, it can go quickly. Pins.
It certainly adds up quickly, and we were doing the math yesterday as they were wrapping up game number 3, and things were looking pretty awesome, almost record awesome. About halfway through game 3, 3 of them had the front 6. Tuckfield, Novak, and LaCaze all started game 3 with 6 in a row. LaCaze, of course, went on to shoot 289. Novak 255 and Tuckfield 266. But there was a lot of strikes on the board, something I've never seen before after 6 or 7 frames. And, fizzled out a little bit down the stretch and still came up with 1268. And for the last 2 years here at the Open Championships, in 6 team games, they are plus 1,000. 35-21 and 34-79. Unbelievable the numbers these guys are putting up in the team event. And a great head start and momentum coming into team all events.
So in the opener of doubles here, Junior Team USA support number 1, 994. So that's going to up what they have to do in these following 5 games quite a bit for the title defense.
Well, Aaron, they need to be plus 884 for their 6 games today. Again, that's a 229 average, and starting below par means got to turn it on here pretty quick. They're talking through it right now. Warzinski gets the 10 to go, but they just saw Vermilyea leave a stone 9 on the left lane. Tuckfield looking at a 9.5, whatever that is over there. But they're all around the pocket where they need to be. They've made some ball experimentations there on the fill shots in game number 1. But certainly time to hit the nitrous. Not a lot of room to play with here. Their companion team to the left. Again, 5 ladies, 2 left-handers. There you go, Tony. Rolls the 7-10. There's one of those breaks back. Got to capitalize on that. Yesterday they had the 5 ladies, and it helped. It helped Mersch on the left side, of course, having 2 more left-handers and having them play a little bit straighter on the right. All part of the strategy. And Brandy Sanderson, the southpaw, with 7.04 yesterday. Mersch with the ball change here.
Looks like the Roto Grip Uproar. Tried that on the fill ball. Rings a 7 there to start game number 2. Looks like another different ball for Vermilyea. Going through the bag quickly here. Scoreboard through 2 looking a little bit more like what we would expect after a little bit of a slow start in game 1 of doubles here. Tuckfield cashes in a break there, crossing over. But 994 in the opening game for Junior Team USA Support 1. Once again, the number they're chasing, 10,363 by Jans HI out of Wisconsin. Wow, stuffed 8 for LaCaze. To go along with the 710 he had on that lane as well. Goodness.
Well, Aaron, I think the bowling karma, it gives it, then it taketh away, I guess is as they say. He rolled the 710 on the right lane in the opening frame for a strike, and now a little bit of payback there, unfortunately. This spared no problem for him, but it all has a way of evening itself out over the course of the day, for sure. We appreciate everybody joining us. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 19 and 20 here at the National Bowling Stadium. One of almost 30 live stream broadcasts from the Open and Women's Championships this year in Reno. And if you're curious about the rest of the live stream schedule, you can visit the Open Championships page on bowl.com and go to the information tab, and you will see all the upcoming broadcasts. We have another one later this week. That one was voted on by the people, and they chose to see Lou Franzetti, former Collegiate Player of the Year, and his talented group from Indianapolis. So we'll bring that to you live at the end of the week, and of course we'll have some festivities from Reno, the USBC Convention, Hall of Fame dinner, and more. A lot happening in the biggest little city this week. But you can find out all those details on bowl.com. Live stream schedule there. Past broadcasts can be found on our YouTube page, youtube.com/bowltv. Just go to the Open Championships playlist, and you can see past live stream broadcasts as well as some great videos that we've been able to put together, highlighting some of the great things that have happened on the lanes this year and in years past. So check that out, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will never miss an update or a minute of the action from any of our great USBC events. Of course, the Globetrotting Lucas Wiseman, always on the run and doing some great events. He was at the Collegiate X-Bowling Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships last week. Aaron Smith over there helping out as well. And now we're back here at the Open Championship. So a good variety of things on the Bowl TV. And glad to bring that to you this year with help from Track Bowling here at the Open Championships, the sponsor of all of our Bowl TV broadcasts. And of course the Track Showcase lanes downstairs on the ground floor of the National Bowling Stadium. The opportunity for your team to get down there for a 1-hour practice session on the team lane condition, a 43-foot pattern. And for $125, you can spend the hour getting your team strategy ready, getting your team and your equipment set for your run at the Open Championships. And of course, if you'd like to see the doubles and singles pattern this year, 40 feet, you can handle that over at the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC on the high end of the National Bowling Stadium, lanes 69 through 78. And they have squat times throughout the day. Half the squat is on fresh oil, half on the burn, as they say. Give you a chance to see how the lanes transition over the 6 games of competition, and a chance to win some prize money as well. So check that out. More information about our side events on bowl.com. Just go to the Open Championships page. You can also read about the Columbia 340 frame game. Another fun opportunity to compete. Handicap singles tournament happening downstairs on the Track Showcase lane. So a lot of great competitive opportunities if you're in Reno this year. And these folks we're watching right now, the defending Team All Events champion junior Team USA Support 1, they took advantage of many of those opportunities. The ladies, Kristen Warzinski and her teammates, bowled at the USBC Women's Championships across town at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Aaron can tell you more about that. And of course, these guys all bowled at the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships to get a feel for this doubles and singles lane condition. And still trying to get comfortable, but more strikes on the board here in game 2. And I believe that is as concise a report and update as we can get here. We covered just about everything there in one long breath.
Well done. You can take a break after that. All right, we're at the halfway point of game number 2 of doubles right now. Great shot by Novak there. His first double of the game.
And question in the chat room, when do they oil the lanes for the 7 a.m. squad? Well, the crew gets here bright and early. They're on the lanes oiling 5:30, 6 o'clock, just as they would prior to a regular squad. Of course, fresh oil for every squad of the day. So the lanes don't sit too long before the 7 a.m. gets out here. They marched about 6:50 and bowling for score around 7 a.m. But last year, the very first time in history, we had fresh oil for every single squad, a brand new schedule, and a very popular change in the routine here at the Open Championships. Of course, leveling the playing field even more so. And now all squads of the day, doubles and singles, 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m., all fresh. Team events at 3 and 7 p.m. Number on top of team ball events right now, 10,363. And Kansas HI had a shot at the highest score of all time. 10,425 was within reach.
Stepping into the final frame, it was still a possibility. Folks from Pollard's Bowl had to sweat that one out a little bit. Still hold the team record from 1996, 10,425. Been challenged a few times. 10,421 was one of the Lodge Lane scores, I believe. But another number these guys chasing right now, 1378, which is on top of doubles right now. Unless that's changed in the past week since I haven't spent too much time in the National Bowling Stadium. But yeah, also a member of Jans HI, Joe Jans and Tim Damrow. Sitting on top of the doubles leaderboard as we speak. There's 3 in a row for Mr. Novak.
Vermilyea looks like he's struggling a little bit with the approaches, and another shot dives through the face on that double, leaving just the 3-6.
He's gone through, I think he's on his 4th different ball choice already.
If I was gonna guess, the latest ball of choice is the Vow.
I'd probably agree with you on that one.
But he has a good variety. His bag includes the Outburst, Takedown, Disorder. Eruption Pro is the orange one. The Eruption Pro Black. The Vow, and EPX, Secret Weapon, and a white dot, of course. Erik, a Columbia 300 guy.
I thought that was the 3rd ball was the Outburst, I believe, so the red and grayish color. But yeah, the EPX, a Brian O'Keefe favorite at the ITRC.
Do appreciate everybody tuning in. 400 strong already here, and not yet 8 o'clock here on the West Coast. So now we can say it is bright and early here in Reno. However, Aaron Smith very surprised to see when he arrived today, still dark outside. He's used to going home about 2, 3 in the morning once we get wrapped up with our final squad of the day. So he doesn't see 5 a.m. very often.
No, unless we're writing about something that happened on the 10:30 squad. By the time I wake you up, it's already late. By the time I get out of here, it's time for breakfast. Next squad already 7 a.m. next day, getting ready to roll in. But yes, dark in Reno at 5 a.m. I learned something today. Guess I should have assumed that, but
what better way to start the work week than watching Bowl TV? A little bit of live streaming in corporate America today. Not a lot of work getting done, so just tell your boss we said it was okay. Hopefully a good learning opportunity for those of you tuning in. Couple left-handers. Checking out Jeffrey Mersch. Mersch struggling a little bit here. Started with a 178. Made a ball change here in game 2. The uproar and having a little trouble get to the pocket. Vermilyea, great shot there for the ring 10.
He wanted that one. Coming face up a little bit earlier.
These guys came into the day 34.79. In yesterday's team event, needed to average more than 229 in doubles and singles today to get to the top of the team all event standings, and struggled in game one. 994 was the number, so that 229 now on the climb, and they're going to need to start striking here very soon. If they want an Orange Eagle on the other sleeve next year.
LaCaze stepping up on 19, looking to make it 7 out of 8. Gets the 10. That pin flew across the deck. LaCaze still looking for 279 out there. Takes care of the foundation frame. After a 765 start in team event, 222 game number 1 here today. It's looking to put that 22-28 leading total of Tim Damrow in reach here.
we have some crazy things happening here. Just trying to get everything situated here at the Open Championships. A busy week scheduled with convention. Everybody coming to town. Got a few things in the works. A lot of great bowlers, and so got called away there for some important business. Just trying to make it all happen.
You certainly keep busy out here, Mr. Canizaro. I'll say that much.
So a lot of the USBC folks that we work with headed this way, getting convention set up. A lot of delegates already coming to town to bowl this week. Some Hall of Famers, Glenn Allison, Jimmy Schroeder, bowl tomorrow afternoon. So just a lot happening. There's everybody headed our way.
That's awfully sweet of him. Joining us out in the biggest little city in the world. Four pins for both Vermilyea and Novak. Erik's still wrapping up the 9th frame. Steve already in the 10th.
We are speeding along here. I feel like we just walked in to set up and already almost set for game 3. Anthony LaCaze making his move at the individual standings. So some big numbers there. That tough break. Was it a stone 8 pin?
Stone 8, yeah.
Stone 8 kept him from the front 9 here in game 2.
Vermilyea gets out the orange ball. Eruption Pro tosses that on the seat. We'll see if that makes an appearance here in the 10th frame.
There it looks like George Lambert is headed our way. Of course, George, part of Canada Pants, made a run at the team event last year. Looking forward to seeing G-Liv, George Lambert the 4th.
one of his teammates from last year's near record run at the Open Championships. Wichita State's Francois Lavoie made one of the finals at the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. So those will be coming. Obviously, we have the spoiler alert up there. The tapings of the finals took place a few days ago at the Reno Sparks Convention Center, but the TV shows will be starting up Tuesdays in May on CBS Sports Network starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. First one, I believe, is May 6th. That's Tuesday, with the women's singles final. And Francois will make his appearance on the 13th for the men's ISC finals. Really was quite an experience. I got to watch the ITCs back in 2010 when it was held in El Paso. But having the singles along with it and just everything of the week, it was quite a show. 265 for LaCaze. Follow up is 222 in the opener. And Matt, one of those collegiate bowlers, had some success here and then found some more of it across the street at the RSCC. Graham Fa.
That's right, 4 first-timers. They knew they were headed this way for the ITCs and ISC, and got on a team and had great success. They made a run at the highest score of all time, 35-51 they ended up with, and went down to their final bowler with a shot at the record and the lead. And Graham, of course, came up huge as the 4th bowler, shot 300, 836, the first 800 of this year's event, and the first left-hander to shoot 300 here since the middle of last year. And so those guys, they'll definitely be back next year. Great first experience. They were kind of in a hurry as they ran through the whole process, but are looking forward to El Paso next year and being a part of the Open Championships tradition. Of course, Graham now will be famous every year that he walks through these doors, and will be recognized for his perfect game and 800 series. And a lot of talk about those guys, as 2 of them did not bowl doubles and singles. They were focused on the Intercollegiate Team Championships and actually helped Urbana all the way to the TV show. And they never got a chance to come back and bowl doubles and singles, so they're looking to make another trip out at some point. They did not enter all events. The money portion of the event, an optional $15, but they didn't plan on bowling doubles and singles, didn't enter that, but potentially Graham or his teammate
James Tucker
could become the first player in Open Championships history here to win all events but not get any money for it. So if they do make it back and have another great couple of sets, it's going to take a bunch, but they can take home the all events title but not the prize money. So an interesting scenario there, but a lot of great collegiate bowlers. The Midland guys as well came out and found some incredible success at the Open Championships, used it as a tune-up for the collegiate events, and bowled great in both places, and we'll see them for years to come, I'm sure. So glad to see all the collegiate players use that one plane ticket to really enjoy what bowling is all about here in Reno in 2014. And again, we'll see more of those guys on TV in the coming weeks.
Junior Team USA Support number 1 finishes with 1080. In game number 2. So they improved 86 pins, so they are in the plus today. Still have a long way to go to get to the 10,363 up on top. Looks like Vermilyea is going to stick with the Eruption Pro. He changed to on the fill ball. Game number 2 to start game 3. 2:03 start here in doubles for the former junior team and Team USA member. Let's see how this ball change works out.
Aaron, that ball looked great yesterday on the 43-foot team pattern, and Eric's been having a lot of success in league with it. Certainly one of his all-time favorites now, I think, already. And that shot looked pretty darn good.
Couldn't agree more with you, Mr. Canizaro. Now, one of the interesting things I think from what we saw with Jan's HI, most of those guys stuck with the same equipment throughout their set and just migrated left and left and left as the pattern broke down. Whereas we've seen a lot of ball changes here by Junior Team USA Support 1. I know you mentioned earlier they wanted to stay right as long as they could. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Won't see too many 5-pins like that in your time. It's knocked back up. Wow. LaCaze gets the roll on the 10, waves to the crowd.
Crowd continues to grow in the chat room. We do appreciate everybody joining us. You're watching doubles and singles here at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. The defending Team All Events champions trying to make it 2 in a row. Have a lot of work ahead of them if they're going to get there. Junior Team USA Support 1 from Mansfield, Texas. Erik Vermilyea, Jeffrey Mersch, Anthony LaCaze, Steve Novak, and Matthew Tuckfield.
Erik was pretty surprised by that one, jumping that high on him. I think he was anticipating a little bit more hold out there. It's a second 4-6.
All right, Mr. Smith, I'm going to step away for a minute here. Going to make a phone call. Going to offer somebody an opportunity of a lifetime. More to come on that, but I know it'll be in your capable hands here as we watch Game 3 unfold here. Game 3 of 6, of course, the march to the top of the leaderboard. Big number on top, 10,363, and you're the man with the numbers, so you know that these guys need a whole bunch in their last 4 games. So, Bowling World, Aaron Smith, Bowling World, enjoy.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the confidence. All right, we are in Game 3 of doubles right now. Junior Team USA Support 1. looking to make their run here in doubles and singles to defend their title, their banner hanging in the rafters. 10,247 was the number last year. Would not be enough this year. 10,363. Set by Jans HI at the beginning of April. $994 in the opening game of doubles for Junior Team USA Support 1. $1080 in game 2, so they had to average nearly 230 as a group to reach that number. So they're going to have to start striking quite a bit here. There's a start. Anthony LaCaze leading the way. Tuckfield saws the 9-pin out there. Last year's Eagle winning performance, Tuckfield was actually on a different pair of lanes than the rest of his teammates. They were all said and done, leaving him the responsibility of accumulating 58 pins, I believe, was the exact number in the final game. He went well beyond that, shot in the 230s. That total helped them earn those eagles that they have on their left sleeves of these jerseys. Got to see champion up on the scoreboard for the first time. Now they're trying to become the first repeat champions of Team All events since 97 and 98, Lodge Lanes. They will need a lot of strikes in their final 3.5 games here. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in on this Monday morning here to Bowl TV. Be sure to subscribe to our channel on Bowl TV to get all the latest and greatest coming from USBC. It's not the only place to follow us. Twitter.com/USBC for up-to-the-minute news breaks. Tough break for Mersch there, sending the 10-pin right in front of the 7. And then, of course, the sport of bowling is on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC. For insights to the Open and Women's Championships here from Reno, you can follow Matt Cannizzaro on Facebook at Matt Cannizzaro-USBC. And then Matt and I are also on Twitter at USBC Aaron, at USBC Matt, so be sure to follow us. We'll provide you all the little insights here and there. Keep you up to date on what's going on at the NBS and the RSCC. Both tournaments in Reno for the 2nd consecutive year. Kristen Warzinski and her team, the companion team here for Junior Team USA Support 1, took advantage of that opportunity. They are sitting in the lead right now in the Diamond division of team with a 25-55 total. 2014 Women's Championships returned to an alt-scratch format this year, added some new divisions, and for the first time in tournament history, 4-player teams. So Kristen and her group put on quite a show. Kristen also the current Division I all-events leader, 1964. She's got 4 out of 5 to start game number 3 here. Carey is not cooperating for Erik right now. He's making some good shots out there. 10-pin on the last 2 shots. Anthony LaCaze did lead the way for Junior Team USA Support 1 in their 34-79 total with a 765 yesterday, going 250-226, excuse me. Started game 3 with the front 10. before leaving a 4-pin on his way to 289. Started off 222, 265 today. He's got 4 out of the first 5 in game 3. A number on tops in regular all events, 22-28. Tim Damrow. Tim currently leads 3 events here at the Open. Him and Joe Jans teamed up for a 1378 doubles total. He's part of the team all events leader, Jans HI, 10,363. There's a strike for Erik.
Yes.
LaCaze finding no trouble with this doubles and singles pattern. Started with the front 5 in game number 1. And a stuff 8-pin in the 3rd frame of the game 2. This is only missed until the 10th frame.
Matt Cannizzaro back in the booth, folks. Just trying to make things happen here, Smith, trying to save the bowling world. And not going well so far, but looks like Anthony LaCaze is trying to set the bowling world on fire.
Daddy out now. I got Daddy out now.
Anthony with 6 out of 7. Doubles partner Steve Novak's 5 out of 7. 5-14 to take a share of the doubles lead here.
Well, that is a tall order. Rough start for these guys here. For Novak, 189, 188. But we've said it millions of times, if it's possible on paper, it is within reach. Anybody could do it. Certainly these guys.
Tenpin comes back for Vermilyea.
Vermilyea, a very emotional player out there on the lanes. You can certainly read how things are going. And going back to last July, Aaron, I don't know if you remember, but it was the best of days and worst of days for Mr. Vermilyea.
Him and John Serbinski as well.
And those guys were bowling the summer Team USA trials at the ITRC in Arlington. And Vermilyea was setting the pace throughout the week there, and he came up short. and didn't finish quite as strong as he was hoping in his bid to return to Team USA. And within minutes of that great defeat, the lowest of lows, he got the phone call letting him know that his team held on to win the Team All Events title here at the Open Championships. So tears of frustration quickly turned into tears of joy as a dream was realized. A pretty horrible day and an amazing day all at once. And again, Vermilyea not shy about how much this all means to him, and did mention yesterday the possibility of shedding a few tears in already seeing the banner for the first time hanging over the lanes and getting presented the awards, and then seeing the word champion on the scoreboard for the first time, really truly understanding the history and tradition of 111 years of Open Championships competition. And to see struggling this year, it's not hard to look at Erik and know exactly how things are going. Unfortunately, not going all too well here. 2-0, 2-0 to start, and a lot of 9 counts up on the board here in Game 3. But Novak and LaCaze continuing to roll here as they try to hunt down the doubles lead. Always in the mix here at the Open Championships, both talented players. Novak last year finished in the top 10 in regular all events.
They're getting closer and closer. 2 frames to go here. 5:14 is what they need. 5:38 still out there.
Like Mersch, since I returned back to the Disturbed, and just kind of playing the ball change game here, trying to find the right look and get comfortable. Doing it all by himself. So when you're left-handed and you're the only one, when you have the look, that's great because that means it doesn't really go away. And if you don't, well, that's even worse because it doesn't really develop for you either. And with this Kegel Ice Oil, which takes quite a bit longer to transition, it holds up, designed to hold up much longer. Only makes the challenge more difficult if you're all by yourself. It's so lonely sometimes.
Well, as Three Dog Night used to say, 1 is the loneliest number. For you kids out in the chat room, Three Dog Night was a band from the 70s. LaCaze, unstoppable here.
Well, somebody send Tim Damrow a message. Get on the live stream. Not sure Team All Events is in much jeopardy. Still a long way to go. Don't want to say it's out of reach, but certainly an uphill climb. But doubles and all events unfolding in front of 470 people's eyes.
We talked about needing to catch a break here and there. 2-pin forward. Makes up for some of those hits earlier in the day.
I believe, Aaron, you said they need 5:14 to get to the lead. 5:38 still out there. going into the 10th frame. So it's theirs to lose at this point. A couple more good shots, and we could see.
It's like 14:02 max.
Well, these guys know a little bit something about doubles. Vermilyea and Mersch held on to that doubles lead in 2010 for quite a while, and a learning experience to say the least. The torture of checking the leaderboards every day, but Erik said that experience really helped them enjoy last year's title run and what it was all about, watching the leaderboards and the close calls and understanding that, you know, that's all part of the excitement. Of course, that answer a little bit different when you're the ones that win at the end, but you know, a couple of close calls, potentially. You know, they were at dinner last year talking about being one of the only groups that had 3,500 in team and 1,500 in doubles and no Eagles to show for it. And of course they came back and bowled great, took home the team all events title. Second in team last year, second in doubles in 2010. So Erik on his way to a nice watch collection. Jeffrey Mersch as well, rivaling Erik's childhood friend Matt McNeil from Minnesota. And of course, Novak and LaCaze trying to add another to their collections here in 2014.
Looks like this scenario is pretty simple. I think if they both get the first one a decent count, or if one of them strikes out and the other one marks and fills. But yeah, if they both get the first strike, they'll be in good position here. Only 4 1400s last year at the Open Championships in doubles. We are 6 strikes away from seeing our first one. 2014. First up, Novak. That shot wide from Novak, 2-8-10. He needs to find a way to pick this up, or Damrow and Jans live to fight another day. Opportunity still there. LaCaze 279 out there. Novak needs to find a way.
Just like that, the break in the 9th frame. Disaster in the 10th. Guys are over 1,300. Certainly a solid number. LaCaze rolling along, but
he's going to put up another 760 here. If he's feeling consistent, he'll leave a 9 here. Back-to-back 765s. Erik finally got the 10 pins out. The 9 pin catches him this time. LaCaze improves on his team set by 1, 766, 1367. just shy of the lead in doubles. .15.31 at the, I guess at the all events turn for LaCaze. So 697 for a share of the lead. Anything higher, it is all his. .1367 doubles will be enough to move into third overall. Once again, Joe Jans, Tim Damrow on top, 1378. Tim Jans, Andy Bunkowski, 1370. Both of them part of Jans HI, the team all events leader, with 10.363.
Aaron's going to do the final calculations and see what it's going to take in singles. I'm going to guess record numbers.
Well, the good news is they have improved each game. By my math, 11-13 in game number 3. Giving them a double set of 31-87. $36.97 seems to be the total in singles that they'll need to take a share of the team all events lead. So basically $740 a guy in singles here.
All right, with not a lot of room, Tuckfield starting things off with a 10-pin.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. More than 500 taking some time on their Monday. Nobody's working too hard except for us right here and Junior Team USA support number 1. LaCaze takes the messenger. 15:31 at the turn. 765, 766. Needs 697 for a share of the all events lead. But thank you for taking some time out from the workday to join us here on Bull TV. Aaron Smith and Matt Cannizzaro here all day at the one and only National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. All right, Mr. Canizaro just got the down low from Erik Vermilyea about what was going on out there. Erik, what did they have to say?
Well, Aaron, I don't say it's as much of a secret. It's pretty much everything we've been saying. They broke them down the way they wanted to. You know, they played them to their strategy, and they're right where they need to be. And they're just not striking. You know, they're not getting the breaks. They're not getting the carry. They're all around the pocket and getting some unfortunate breaks. A lot of single pins, a couple 4-9 to 7-10. But they're doing everything as planned, and they're putting the ball where they want to. And just not getting the cooperation. You almost saw Erik right there leave another 4-9. Gets the 4 to go. He did say that they're seeing a hook spot, you know, and Tony just is in his zone right now. He's not noticing anything. He's throwing the ball just right. He said it's the motive venom shock, and things are just going just perfectly for him. So, you know, they're talking through things and trying to figure things out. Erik's been through his whole arsenal, trying to find something that's going to carry. And Tony's just zoned in right now, and they're laughing, they're talking. That's all they can really do at this point is keep doing what they're doing and hope the pins cooperate. Erik certainly feels that with the way they broke them down and the look they have, somebody is capable and probably going to shoot a big number in here in singles, 750 plus. And he's putting his money on Anthony, of course, right now, and he's going to need every bit of that to make a run at all events here. Right now, the singles leader, 798, Jeff Grego, and he's from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and 22-28 on top of all events. And you know, you've got the calculator, you've done the math, you've already told the folks what it's going to take. So now it's just a matter of everything falling into place. And team all events, they're going to need a beast of a performance here in singles. That one might be quickly falling out of reach, but Tony LaCaze still in the hunt for all events right now.
Well, how often, Matt, do we get the opportunity to say Anthony LaCaze doesn't need to shoot 800 to set the all-time record here? 795. Granted, obviously we're 2 shots in, but not too many folks can find themselves in that kind of position to be looking at the record of 23-26 set by Matt McNeil. And of course, as soon as I bring that up, he's staring at a 4.67. But 697 for the all events lead. Only, I believe, the second open for Tony all day that we've seen. He had one in game number 1 of doubles.
Aaron, I'm just going to try to get caught up in the chat room here. We do appreciate everybody stopping by today on this Monday morning. Hopefully learning some things here about equipment and lane play and righties, lefties, ladies. There's a little bit of everything here on today's broadcast. And you're watching the defending team all events champs, Jeffrey Mersch. Great shot there. Guys just missed the doubles lead. All Vermilyea can do with that 7th pin is just laugh, because the frustration of no carry Monday here at the National Bowling Stadium.
Hasn't missed the pocket in quite a while, and I think over the course of the past 2 games has a double to show for it. Certainly can be frustrating into the pocket that much and not finding the hits, but like you said, at some point You do just kind of have to sit back and laugh and just get back at it.
Good question in the chat room. Does anybody know the difference or can explain the difference between the fire and ice oils? And pretty simply, 2 new products came out from Kegel, our lane maintenance provider last year, 2013. Ice being used here at the Open Championships and designed to hold up quite a bit longer, to slow the transition, plays a little bit slicker. Fire, similar, but it hooks a little bit more. Simple as that. And that, of course, being used at the Women's Championships. So one's just a little bit slicker than the other, but both designed to be more durable on the lanes and to delay that transition, which we've certainly seen over the past couple of years here. And teams expecting the lanes to change and getting ready to make the moves, and it just not happening quite as soon as it did in the past. Certainly it happens, just happens later in the process. And Vermilyea talking, looks like he said he's down to a 1-ball option, so it makes the decisions easier the rest of the way. Take out one that's going to get you the closest and make it work, but Erik's still strikeless here in singles. Clean through 4. LaCaze back up with a strike, 3 out of 4 for him. So all events, Tim Damrow in danger here with 3 games to go. Brzezinski trying to get back on track. She started with 3 in a row before a split in the 4th frame. She is all about the Brunswick and Deviate equipment. Most of the equipment in her arsenal, at least on the list we have, pretty recognizable. The only 2 that potentially could be going down the lane, I say the Radical Yeti Unleashed. Just based on the rest of the list, I think that's a good guess.
I'm going to agree with you, Matt. Just from what it looks like here, logo-wise, that is the safe bet. Late 10 fallout for Novak there.
Once again, a question about Graham Fa. Rolled 836 in the team event last week with a 300 game. First 800, only 800 of the 2014 USBC Open Championships. And Graham, just based on the schedule of the week, did not plan on bowling doubles and singles and has left town. He is probably back home in Ohio at Urbana University, finishing up the semester, I would imagine, at this point. Certainly still thinking about coming out. We are here, of course, until July 13th. We kicked off February 28th. So 136 days of competition. Plenty of time for Graham and Mr. Tucker to come back and try to knock down that all events number, which potentially could be up a little bit higher after today if Anthony LaCaze has anything to say about it. But Graham and Mr. Tucker certainly still with the opportunity to come out and win the all events title, just not the all events prize money, as they did not enter prior to competition.
And while we're on the subject of Graham and Mr. Tucker, an interesting story. Obviously, They had a quiet performance here, nearly taking over the lead, the second highest team total of all time. But on their way to the televised finals of the Intercollegiate Team Championships for Urbana, they made it undefeated through the first few rounds. So when they got to the final round to determine the two teams to make the semifinals, I guess, they drew Collegiate powerhouse Wichita State. And they had to. So Wichita State was in the position that they had to beat them twice. They go 7 the first match. Wichita State wins that in the 7th game to force another round. Once again, we're down to game 7. Urbana was actually down 3 games to 2 at the end of game 6. After Graham was the anchor, and he wrapped up that game for him to force a game 7. Coming back, there was so much emotion when he went to go give James 5. James is their leadoff bowler. He hits him so hard, it comes back, it hits him in the face, and it ends up knocking his contact lens out of spot. So they ended up taking a few minutes for someone from the Urbana crowd had the solution. They had to get that to get everything kind of like back in order. And then if you haven't had a chance to see the final frame of that on Bowl TV, it's a treat. Graham Fod needs the first 2 strikes to send his team to the TV finals in their very first ITC appearance. Gets up, delivers all 3 in the 10th to make the TV show. Once again, you can see those TV shows for both the men's and women's ITC as well as the ISC starting May 6th and every Tuesday afterwards on CBS Sports Network starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there's your random story of the day from the Reno Sparks Convention Center.
I was wondering what you were doing over there all week, because you were absent.
Wasn't here
from the Open Championships. But, Graham and those guys both great. Threw the big shots when they needed them, and all events still a possibility. And at the Open Championships, if there's an open spot, certainly it is possible for them to purchase one of the open spots. But even with that 836, still a lot of work would need to be done, especially if Anthony LaCaze has anything to say about it, as he steps up here looking for 4 in a row. Putting up great numbers through 6 games here in 2014. Almost 7-10s again. 7 goes late. The all events record still out there, 23-26. Shot by Matt McNeil in 2010. I'm gonna be honest, Aaron, I never thought we'd see that number after watching Ron Vokes the year before shoot 23-21 to set the record, which had stood for quite some time. And to see him come back the next year and put up a number like that, pretty awesome. Kind of the coming out party for Mr. McNeil. And he's been on a roll ever since. Now a 3-time champion here at the Open Championships.
Vermilyea catches a break there, makes it 3 in a row. He can't believe it. It's 5 in a row for Novak after the missed single pin in the third frame. Mixer 7 doesn't carry for LaCaze there. That'll drop his max down into the 220s. Once again, needs 697 for a share of the regular all events lead. Rolled 765 in team yesterday. Started off today 766 in doubles to help him and Steve Novak into third place with 1367. pairs to our left, Tyler Selmont out of Alaska, starting with the front 8 strikes to kick off singles. We'll keep you up to date on Tyler's run at perfection. He's currently on 15 and 16 at the National Bowling Stadium. Eight pin there for Tuckfield. Brutal way to start the 10th frame.
All right, Mr. Smith, excitement all around us. Anthony LaCaze chasing down the all events lead. Tyler Selmont, front 9 to our left. If only it were that simple, we could turn the cameras.
Yep.
What would Lucas Wiseman do? That is the question. I think we learned something last time. We can maybe go to the single shot and get the camera moved over there. It's possible. It's possible on paper. I think we could do it. If it gets to the next one, let's investigate that possibility. How about that?
Seems fair enough.
Yeah, we learned a little bit with the Bob Hart 100,000 pin situation.
You have so many cameras to choose from. Which one will we use? So on 19, they start off with Tuckfield leaves at stuff 8. Novak comes back 6 in a row, stuff 9. Steve will be in the 230s here. He's making a ball change. Looks like the roto grip uproar. Kaz gets the first one of the 10. 224 max.
Great shot there from Novak. Plugging along as well. All these guys, solid careers here at the Open Championships. Vermilyea, 9 tournaments in, 221 average. Jeffrey Mersch, 213 for his 9 tournaments. Novak, 218.5. Tuckfield, tournament number 5. He's at 219 overall. Singles, his worst at 209, so Tuckfield definitely a team player. Anthony LaCaze is just 205.7 for his 12 years here at the Open Championships.
A few of those years are Masters years, though, so I think 2 of them.
Of course, LaCaze, when he was on tour, not eligible to compete in the Open Championships, getting participation credit for his 2 years at the Masters. That's how it works. That's how guys like Walter Ray and Pete Weber can become eligible for the USBC Hall of Fame with 20 participation years. Got our eye on Tyler. I will potentially head down there to do my usual video stuff for Facebook. All right, so we're just talking over strategy here as we get ready for Tyler's up in the 10th frame now over on lane 15. So should he get this one? Looks like no thumber, two-hander from the right side, goes either high or Brooklyn and gets it to go. So he's got the front 10. Aaron's gonna step up and work on the camera situation here. And Junior Team USA Support 1 will continue doing what they do. Wrapping up game 1 of singles. LaCaze 224 needs 697 for the all events lead, and here is Tyler Selmont looking for 11 in a row here on lane 15. Gets that wide right, misses the head pin, leaves the 1-2-4. So no 300 on today's live stream, but we learned a little bit about our camera situation here. Aaron Smith's going to get things situated again, get us back where we need to be as Junior Team USA Support gets ready for game number 2 of singles. LaCaze 224, Mersch 226, Tuckfield 221, Novak 237, and Vermilyea 233. So these guys a little bit behind the pace that they need in singles to get to that team all events number, but as Erik said, he feels like if they can get the carry to cooperate, they're all in the right place and feeling pretty good about the look they have here in singles. So anything is possible. Big numbers. They did it yesterday. Finished with 1268, the 5th highest game in history for a single team, and certainly all very capable. Tuckfield starts things off with a strike. Borzinski, the 6th bowler on this pair from the companion team, with a strike as well. LaCaze again needs 697 to reach the all events lead. Started with 224, so got a big task ahead of him now. But certainly, as Erik Vermilyea said, he is locked and loaded. Just a matter of getting the carry. Aaron, nice work there. Hoping to see some magic as we did last year. We caught the only left-hander of the year, Mr. Garber, Will Garber. In just that way, we were able to turn the camera, and unfortunately this time, Tyler Selmont 287 to start singles. So a good head start there for him, for sure. 798, the number on top of the standings here in singles. Jeff Grego from Fort Wayne, Indiana. That was a number that went untouched for almost a month at 783. Terrence Blevins. And then got beat twice in 15 hours. Justin Ziegler and Derek Magno, 784 and 788 before Mr. Grego came in and flirted with the first 800 of the year Needed the second hit in the 10th, came up a little bit short, but he is your leader, 798, top on all events. Tim Damrow, 22-28 in serious jeopardy right now with Anthony LaCaze leading just 697. So a lot of things unfolding here. We saw a run at the doubles lead as well. LaCaze and Novak came up just short. They are third. These guys fifth in team at 34-79. So can't expect or hope for much more than to put yourself in position to step up and throw the shots you need, and just need a little bit of help along the way sometimes. LaCaze is going to reset with the head right. Novak just throws it really good, almost all the time.
You could say that.
Collegiate standout at Saginaw Valley State.
That's a good-looking scoreboard early on here in Game 2 of singles.
3 of them had the front 6 in the last game of team yesterday. It was one of the coolest things. I think Vermilyea had either 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 at that point, with a 710 being the only blemish on their entire team scoreboard through 5 frames. It was pretty awesome to see. And we're looking at it again here. Nothing but strikes so far here in Game 2 of singles. And when it goes bad, it goes bad.
Did you just say something about that?
I did indeed. It is deja vu all over again. Very proud of Erik right now for containing all profanity. Frustrating day for him so far. 710 there, frame number 2. All right, so we're rolling on here. Game 2 of singles. Once again, this is Matt Kenijar and Aaron Smith. We're live at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. This broadcast brought to you by Track Bowling, the proud sponsor of all 2014 Open Championships live stream broadcast, and of course the Track Showcase lanes downstairs on the ground floor of the National Bowling Stadium. Your opportunity to get in a team practice session here before competing in the team event. 2 patterns this year, 43 feet and 40 feet for doubles and singles. And that pattern available at the Storm Bowlers Journal Championship, so be sure to check that out on the high end of the National Bowling Stadium to get your tune-up for doubles to singles. These guys did it, and Anthony LaCaze is rolling along here. Needs 697 for the all events lead here in 2014. In the 760s in both team and doubles. Big numbers these guys are chasing. 10,363 for the team all events. And 2228, the number on top of regular all events right now. Seriously in jeopardy if the cause can keep on striking. Aaron Smith, the man with the numbers, he'll be right back just doing some calculations and knows exactly what everybody needs and what these guys need to do here in singles. Big numbers needed. Cause doing his part, 3 in a row, looking for 4. Great shot, but leaves the 10. Cause needs 795, and I believe that would be enough for the all events record here. 697 will get him to the lead. Jeffrey Mersch struggling with carry a little bit here. Game number 2 for his 3rd consecutive single pin spare. $798, your singles leader. 22-28, top of all events. Vermilyea with another 10 pin. Just as everything went their way a year ago. Just the opposite here in 2014. They came into the day needing to average more than 229. Aaron Smith is back. He's got the updated numbers. Aaron, what's it going to take for these guys to repeat here?
Well, after their first game of singles, They've improved each game, so that's obviously a good thing, but still not at the pace that they're going to need. 11:41 game 1 of singles. 25:56 their last 2 games here. So that's a pretty sizable number. 12:75 basically a game to get up there. That's certainly a tall order, but as they say, stranger things have happened.
Novak gets that one through the face. Looking at a tough spare, 3-6, 9-10. Loses some count as well. So though not impossible, looks like LaCaze is their last hope at finding the top of the leaderboard here in 2014. LaCaze, big 4. So the all events record now. Safe. Needed 795. Before that shot, he still had 803 out there.
So Matt McNeil can return to class and
Matt
no
McNeil,
longer worry about his banner.
Dangerfield, the oldest man in college bowling. LaCaze got to shake that off. 697. Certainly doable.
Yeah, even with that miss, 250 is still possible this game. 224 in the opener.
Vermilyea throwing that orange ball really well. Said that he's actually thrown the ball better this year than he has in a very long time. Feeling good. Shot 800, I think, Thursday night in league. They've done everything they can. They've prepared, they've practiced, they've communicated, they've watched live streams, they've studied. Just a nice tradition, a nice just an experience that they have that, you know, very similar to last year. Obviously it worked. Last year they bowled at 7 a.m. because they didn't pay their money in time. And so they got what was left. First come, first serve, of course, real time. As soon as you pay in full, you get to select your times, and they had only 7 a.m. left when it was time to select, and they bowled at 7. They won with a huge number, 10,247, and figured why mess with tradition now. So they decided to bowl again at 7 a.m. and were pretty close to the pace of last year. They shot 35-21 at the time, was the 3rd highest score in history, and finished 2nd in the team event and used that motivation. And it was pretty awesome to hear the story again. You know, they left some pins out there and they could have had the lead, which would have been the highest score of all time last year. But before they even had their balls in the locker, you know, Matthew Tuckfield pointed out, you know, let's not focus on the pins that we lost, that we threw away or missed or whatever that we left out there. But let's focus on the fact that we now have a huge head start towards team all events. 521 over going into doubles and singles, and they decided instead of focusing on what could have been, that they immediately were going to turn their attention to the momentum and what could be, and it worked out. So just trying to keep everything in tune with last year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know, and they have a good system in place, and they've all succeeded over the years and had some different companion teams over the years. Their most recent companion team actually is just ahead of them in the standings. Thanks, Ronnie. PJ Haggerty, David O'Sullivan, those guys pulled together for many years and have since obviously gone their separate ways. And now Vermilyea paired up with a very talented ladies team. But thanks, Ronnie. Made a run at the team event and team all events just a couple of weeks ago. And they always are in the mix as well. A lot of young talent. They paid their dues and worked their way up through youth bowling, high school bowling, junior team USA. All took advantage of collegiate bowling. And then for a couple, PBA regional program, LaCaze and Mersch. And of course the national tour came calling for Anthony as well, but they've done it right. They've challenged themselves over the years to sport bowling lane conditions and put in the work and found success at every level. And finally, the pinnacle, taking home the Eagle last year at the Open Championship. So many great young talented teams, and these guys are just 9 or 10 years in. You know, they still got a good 40 or 50 years ahead of them at this event. After being close in 2010 and then being able to hang on and share it with the whole team, certainly a career-defining moment for all 5 of these players, and something that they'll always share here at the Open Championships.
Yeah, you can't take it away.
Somebody asked earlier in the chat room about Zeke Bate. Of course, he was our 2013 regular singles champ. Just a youngster, just a couple of years in here at the Open Championships, and already part of tournament lore. The 2013 singles champ. Still many, many, many years ahead in his career. We'll have him on the live stream on June 21st to see how he handles the pressure of being not only a youngster, but a defending champion.
You know, Matt, I really don't think that's going to be the pressure for Zeke. You know, coming back, getting the Eagle, the march down center aisle, seeing the champion, defending the title. I think the real pressure for Zeke will be having to bowl with Matt Cannizzaro. It's got to be it. Be terrified to bowl with you.
Well, Mr. Smith, well, I did talk to Zeke a couple times, especially to congratulate him on his title and get some thoughts from him last July. I'm not sure he would know me if I walked up to him after you did all the hard work in telling the world about his run at the singles lead. But certainly looking forward to that opportunity. I do get to bowl on the same pair with Zeke and some very talented players in June, so looking forward to that. We'll have them on the live stream the next day at 11 a.m. And then Ken Wagner and I will take the lanes later that night. So I did hear a rumor that Chris Hester, one of our favorite left-handers, will be in town that week as well. Art Brown going to make an appearance, so they're going to come out and take notes on what not to do when it's time for them.
Tyler Selmont, a few pairs to our left, had the front 10 to kick off singles. Just got his first double of game number 2. Started strike, spare, and now the double. It's again 798. Number up on top. Here's LaCaze looking for 3 in a row. Gets in the mix. 250 still out there, needs 697 for a share of the regular all events lead.
had some good bowlers on yesterday's team event. Some familiar names from my collegiate bowling days. Eric Pollack and Lisa Pollack, formerly Lisa Stack, I believe, from Central Missouri. Eric bowled at Wichita State, helped them to the national title in 1998. Again, fast fact of the day. I bowled in college for 4 years, and I've worked for USBC since 2005. I've only been to the Intercollegiate Team Championships 1 time.
So I got you beat on that.
It was as a freshman in 1998, so I got to see Eric and the Shockers win it live in Madison, Wisconsin, but have not been back since, despite it being right down the street even. Last week, was over here handling business at the Open Championship, so keeping my streak alive. One of my, well, I don't want to say it's a proud streak. I think that's a great event, certainly one that you want to be a part of, and I meant to get there the other 3 years, especially when I was bowling. But there's a couple streaks still alive in my life, unfortunately, that and I won't mention the other one because then some people will want to try to ruin it. I'll tell you later, though. Anyway, Eric and Lisa both bowled very well yesterday, both around 700 in the team event. Struggling today on the high side of the center today. They're at 33-4, it looks like, or 35-6. We got our eyes on them, and if they do anything, of course, we'll let you know. A lot of great players, and some other folks coming in tonight. Adam Barta, Rob Godshaw will be on the lanes. We'll certainly expect a nice performance out of them, and should they manage to do anything noteworthy, we'll have that on bowl.com, the recap for you, and also check back, visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Sport Bowling USBC and the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. And of course, my personal fan page, Matt Canizar USBC, and at Twitter, at USBC, at USBC Matt, and at USBC Aaron. So we've certainly taken on the social media challenge here in 2014, and a lot of great moments captured only on social media. So some of the smaller news items and notes from the Open Championships this year and the Women's Championships now that event is kicked off across town. So check back often for what's going on. Tell you what's going on right here. Anthony LaCaze making his run, needs 697 for the all events lead. And these guys starting to pile on the strikes here in game number 2 of singles. Kristen Wawrzynski getting in on the action. She's got 8 out of 9 with a single pin miss, 7 pin in frame number 3.
Comes in light, leaves the 2 pin. Still has 240s out there after a 195 start. Here's Tuckfield. He only has 1 miss so far. The 5th frame, 278 still out there after 221. Ten-pin stands. Tyler Selman has continued to strike. Still has 260 out there. Game 2 after his 287 start. He'll be up in the 9th frame in a minute.
Tuckfield with the single pin miss in the 10th frame for 245. So stepped up, could have been 270. It was just 33 pins in the 10th frame there. And we were talking to these guys yesterday, and Chances HI lost about 100 pins in single pins as well. So they could have had that record, and just a few miscues along the way, and left some out there for sure. So should they not be able to hold on, they're certainly going to count down those few single pins, and you just never know. Again, we saw records fall by just a few sticks. Last year by just one.
Whether it's a record or an eagle, or they can certainly add up. We were just talking about Zeke Bate a little bit. 795 to take singles last year. Big first shot in the 10th there by LaCaze. But he opened the 10th for that 795. He still had 830s out there, and you know, he was bummed about missing out on the 800. And you know, he left Reno as the leader, which is obviously a good thing. Well, that's what everyone comes out here for. But you know, he said when we talked to him afterwards, he really didn't think it was going to hold up after giving that many pins back. Fortunately for Zeke, it did hold on. 795 was enough to take home the singles title last year. But
I did tell that story yesterday too, where he thought the lead was 798 and he had thrown it away with that spare miss, and when he was told it was actually 789 and he was the guy. I can't imagine the relief on his face at that point.
It was quite a scene. Happened at 1030 squad, June 16th last year, I want to say. But yeah, it was quite, it was obviously the disappointment of missing the spare and then missing 800 and then realizing or thinking that he had lost a chance at the lead, followed by his teammates still coming up congratulating him. Hey, you got the lead. Anthony LaCaze just showing off now.
Well, we talked about getting every pin you can, and he certainly did right there.
239 with the 6, 7, 9, 10 conversion.
Well, write that down, because if he ends up shooting 22-29,
that could be.
We're going to talk about that spare right there. Jeffrey Mersch struggling, leaves the 3-7.
So 234 looks to be the number for LaCaze in the final game here, for a share of the regular all events lead.
Based on his last 8 games, that sounds pretty easy, but they got a little weird there for him. In game number 2, had a big 4, and then that split after the first hit in the 10th.
Yeah, really can't argue with his day so far. 222, 265, 279 for 766 in doubles. 224, 239 so far here. But yeah, we'll see. Be sure to let your friends know right now. Tune into Bowl TV, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter. Former PBA champion, exempt player, Anthony LaCaze, coming back to defend his team all events eagle with Junior Team USA Support 1.
This is the opposite of what we saw Bo Gergen do. He took home the regular singles title in 2009 with the highest 3-game set at the Open Championships ever, 862. And he came back the next year and celebrated as the defending champ, but wanted nothing more than to share that feeling with his teammates, and did so as they took home the Team All Events title in 2010. So 2 great years there for Bo. And now LaCaze, of course, picking up the Team All Events title last year, and now having some individual success here in 2014. So just 234 pins away from putting himself in position. Last year, the winning score, 22-28. This year, that number is on top again.
So they lost some steam that game, 1080. So 1476. It's still out there.
1476. Well, so we'll find out here in about 10 seconds. So far,
1490 still out there.
1480.
It's going quick.
It seems to do that. So if I was a betting man, I would say, good run, gentlemen. Certainly a great experience for them coming in as the defending champs. All the hoopla and everything around it. The Eagles, the watches, the jerseys. Hopefully an unforgettable experience. Capping off the whole deal. A year in the making, really. Taking the lead to waiting it out on leaderboards to getting that phone call in July. To the Eagle presentation. I actually had the pleasure of being at the Florida State Hall of Fame dinner. And I was able to present Matthew Tuckfield and Jeffrey Mersch with their Eagles and tell the tale of Mr. Tuckfield stepping up, needing just 55 or so pins to lock up the lead and shooting 239 to give them more than enough for the title, and to see them hold those Eagles up for the first time. And of course, John Gaines and John Janowicz were there as well. Got to give them their Eagles for their record score and team victory. That was number 4 for Gaines, number 3 for Janowicz. Now LaCaze still looking to add number 2 to his mantle with a double here in game number 3. I have no doubt these guys know the numbers. They know what LaCaze needs, or a roundabout.
He's got 1994 through 8 games, which for most people would be pretty fantastic for 9. A career year for some of us. But he's looking for a little bit more.
Well, Aaron, I was trying to think back, see what is the highest all events total we've seen conclude on the live stream broadcast. And I believe it was 2011, Matt McNeil, 2241. If I'm not mistaken, that was his final number in his title defense. I'm going to verify that here.
And then he shot 2202 next year to win in Baton Rouge.
I certainly don't like to be wrong.
I know.
2241. So Mr. McNeil came up a little bit short, had a shot at it. He actually needed, I want to say, 697 going into singles as well. And at the time, 2258, Ray Edwards was the guy. Matt Weggin, of course, came and earned his spot in history with the first back-to-back 800s and came away with the all-events title 2268. So McNeil finished 3rd that year, but 2241 on the live stream. That included a 300 game and 822 series. And of course, as you mentioned, came back in 2012 again. 300, 847. Doubles title, all events title 2202. We saw Dan Rao cap off his 2228. We saw part of John Zerbinski's 2228 last year. We showed their team event. So a lot of great memories rolled on the live stream. John Janowicz came up a little bit short last year, 2169. Did take the lead at the time. Some bonus live stream coverage there. LaCaze in position to give us our highest broadcast all events total. Can't ask for much more than that. Big scores, a little bit of excitement. They made a run at the doubles lead. Didn't quite get there. Maybe a little bit short in team all events. But why not? Something different.
Here's Anthony stepping up in the third frame on lane 19. Can he keep it going? Have no idea how that messenger didn't take out the 10.
LaCaze throws a lot of pins.
He does.
He's
been
thrown some great shots over the last 2 days. And a couple of unfortunate breaks. A missed messenger there, a couple 7-10s. Stone 8, a wobbly 4-pin on the front 10 yesterday. Of course, a couple of good breaks along the way too. Rolled a 7-10 at one point. Spares very important at this point. Still has room. 279 out there, needs 234. Vermilyea stopped by earlier. Happy with the way things were unfolding as far as their lane play and how they were throwing the ball. Obviously, the carry, a different story. Just not their day here at the Open Championships. We are on lanes 19 and 20. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, 2014 OC here at the National Bowling Stadium. These guys hoping to finish strong. Have had a great couple of years here at the Open Championships. Nothing to be upset about at all, of course. Always a little disappointment when you don't quite get there.
Now, Matt, I know you had a chance to talk to these guys a little bit yesterday. Was there any added pressure with the whole ceremony yesterday, or were they pretty calm about it?
Well, I want to say they were outwardly calm. They did the hard work last year. They got it. They got that first one, and of course you want to come in and have a good showing. And these guys have handled pressure before, and if they were super nervous, it didn't show. You know, they were of course a little bit emotional coming in. They got the whole atmosphere, the banner for sure. They saw that a couple days ago. But they got their second place watches back in the squad room, and then we hustled out with their equipment so that they could be escorted out and introduced as champions for the first time. So I think, you know, that'll get to you anytime. And they were presented with their championship watches at center aisle, and that's a moment where, you know, things start to click a little bit. And then, of course, at the end of practice, looking up at the scoreboard for the first time, and I asked Amanda to get down there and get a picture, you know, of their reaction when they saw that, because that's what it's all about. That's the moment it becomes real. And I think when I talked to them, their 10:50 start, it was a little bit of that. It was the nerves and just the attention, the spotlight, and the pressure of coming in as the defending champs. And, you know, they shook it off nicely. 10:50, 11:61, and then a huge 12:68. So their third game average is pretty ridiculous over the last couple of years, and they just get better and better each game. You know, we saw that in 2012. Again, they were bowling with the Thanks Ronnie group, and, you know, one team went up each game, and one team struggled there in the finish, and both had a great opportunity, and you know, they continue to put themselves in position. But you know, clearly they were a little bit rattled by the whole experience yesterday early. But it went away pretty quickly, I guess was the short answer to that question. But there's no short answers when it comes to Matt Canizaro. So
exactly. Why take the scenic route there, Matt?
But I mean, they're here to do a job, and that's to get to the top of the leaderboard. And, you know, they shook it off quickly, and certainly proved that, you know, they're not the one-hit wonders. They are here for a long time to come, and will continue to be in contention. And if they can't win it as a team, certainly they'd like to see one of their own surge to the top. And Anthony LaCaze in great position right now. He struck in the fourth frame, so 3 out of 4, 279 still out there. That would give him about 40 more than he needs, but still a long way to go.
So 22.73 is the max.
And again,
hard to think as well as we basically watched Tim Damrow from start to finish, and to be 50 pins higher, granted we still got a long way to go here, but as well as he bowled, I think if someone could go 50 plus on that, that's quite outstanding.
Well, I think 2200 is the new all-event standard here at the Open Championships. You know, the 2 patterns and the fresh oil for every squad have certainly changed the game a little bit here on the big stage. A true test of versatility, again, as we keep saying, to conquer 2 patterns over 9 games, make the right adjustments, and combat that Kegel ice oil to be the man on top. But 22-28, the winning score last year, the first time we had 2 patterns and fresh oil for every squad, and now 22-28 leading again in jeopardy with Anthony LaCaze stepping up here looking for a double. LaCaze, you know, pretty familiar with the multiple patterns, bowling the PBA World Series of Bowling, multiple patterns over consecutive days. And of course, all that going towards, you know, like the PBA World Championship, for example, your performance on each of those patterns for a greater cause. And here, you know, a 43-foot team pattern and 40-foot double singles. He's been consistent, 760, 760. And a little bit below that pace here, but looking to finish strong. Vermilyea now with the front 5 wants in on the action. And potentially a Sport Bowling Award. We haven't had a chance to give away many, but Graham Fa, the collegiate bowler, a USBC Sport member, he is going to get the Sport 300 ring and a crystal pin for his 800 series here last week. So if you're out there and you're coming to the Open Championships, if you're not a Sport member, you certainly can upgrade for $15 before you bowl, and you can cash in. And if you should happen to shoot a 11 in a row or a big number here, you can get some really cool Sport Bowling awards.
I was thinking about Graham, and with it being his first tournament, 836, and then he leaves town, you could just go with that forever. Have the highest Open Championships average of all time over the course of his career. But I feel Graham's going to be back. Certainly, and you know, we mentioned every time we talk about the collegiate kids how everything they learned on that level translates so well to coming out here to the Open Championships. The communication, the teamwork, the being able to talk through transition, and a lot of these up-and-coming teams that make the intercollegiate team championships every year, this is the next stepping stone for them. 3 in a row for LaCaze. He is coasting right now.
Certainly 279 still on the board. Got to keep his composure there. I mean, he's certainly done it. Picked up a PBA title on national television, so he's throwing the big shots under pressure.
I actually just watched that just a few days before, doing a few of the notes on him. Great final against Mike Machuga on a brutal pattern. I actually remember watching that one live way back when. And Tony stepped up in the 10th frame, delivered 2 big strikes to force Machuga to double. Machuga's behind the ball return on the right lane, gets the first one, trips a 4, and just rings a 10. Give LaCaze his title, but they were deep on the lane that day. They were scrounging for any bit of oil they could find. Just some fantastic shots down the stretch, and he's doing the same thing here right now.
And you're seeing it live here on Bowl TV, youtube.com/Bowl TV. That's our channel. The Open Championship playlist has all of our past live streams and great videos. Erik Vermilyea with the front 6. Liking that Columbia Eruption Pro.
The orange ball.
The orange ball. Columbia, of course, the sponsor of the Columbia 340 frame game. Handicap singles tournament downstairs on the track showcase lanes. Opportunity to compete and have a little bit of fun. Maybe get yourself one of the fluorescent Columbia 300 shirts to go with your orange bowling ball. Erik Vermilyea finished last year's event with a 290 game, and now looking to finish obviously with something a little bit higher here in 2014. Team all events not going to happen again for these guys. We're not going to have a repeat winner. We do appreciate all 800 of you for joining in today.
Well, we got to thank Lucas Wiseman for that, putting the word out on Twitter. Anthony LaCaze making the home stretch here. Folks tuning in on their our Monday morning afternoon out in the East and Central times. Here's Anthony LaCaze in the 7th.
He's 234, 279 still out there.
Doing everything right now. I believe he started the first few frames of doubles with a Primal Rage, and it's been the Venom Shock ever since. It has been a great matchup so far.
As we wind down game number 3, LaCaze chasing down the all events lead. We'll have the final calculations, unofficially of course, of their final team all events number here in their title defense. We'll have the recap on bowl.com later this afternoon. The final numbers, LaCaze leading the way, just a couple of strikes away from being your all events leader. So these guys made a great run here in 2014. We'll talk to them as soon as they're done bowling, get some pictures and some quotes, and get the word out. Still 3 big important frames to go, and a lot of excitement still possible here. As Vermilyea's bid for 300 comes to an end. Hashtag orange ball. If you're curious about a lot of the equipment out there, you're seeing a bunch of it today. Vermilyea throwing the Columbia stuff. Mersch and Novak, Storm and Roto-Grip. Anthony LaCaze, our possibly soon to be all events leader, throwing the Motive balls. Kristen Warzinski with the Brunswick Deviate and Radical. Looks like the Radical Yeti Unleashed is the word of the day on what she's been throwing for most of singles here.
Marzinski takes care of the single pin. LaCaze getting ready for the 8th on 20. 22-73 still out there. Never a doubt in the 8th frame. Still rolling along.
It's looking pretty good, Mr. Smith. I think in just another minute or so, I'm going to go grab some paperwork and a camera so we can do what we do. And it's unfolding. It's all but there. 2 solid frames. I know still don't want to get ahead of ourselves, of course. But LaCaze certainly lined up and in the zone, and his teammates there to support him and keep him focused.
I was going to say, if he finishes out with the last 4, 22-73, 4th highest all events set all time here in 111 years of competition. So we're up to 900 live right now. Keep getting the word out, folks. We appreciate it. We appreciate everyone for stopping by for a little bit today on this Monday morning. Anthony LaCaze, 2 frames away from the all events lead. He'll be up in the 9th frame on 19.
I'm going to step away, grab a few things. I'll be right back to bring it home with you, Mr. Smith.
All right, keep up the good work, sir. Strike here in the 9th basically assures the lead. We just need to stay behind the foul line. Here it is, 9th frame, Anthony LaCaze. All 10 back. Well, folks, this is how it's done on the doubles and singles. We had the privilege of watching Jan's HI put on a clinic on how to attack this pattern, and today Anthony LaCaze, along with the help from his Junior Team USA Support 1 teammates, moving into the lead in regular all events. 22-28 was the leading total set by Tim Damrow out of Wisconsin. Tony is going to surpass that number here in the 10th frame. Needed 234 this game. Still has 279 stepping up in the 10th. Even with an open in the 10th, he's in the 240s. So we'll get ready for that in just a second. Matt Tuckfield already up in the 10th. Finishing off his set. Trip 2 for Erik. Some struggles with carry early. He's going to have a nice single set here. Still has 720s out there. Matt Canizaro's back. Hey, Matt, guess what? Anthony LaCaze struck.
About that, striking a lot, and looks like Just a little bit of gravy here.
Yeah, just needs to stay behind the foul line, more or less.
Great run by Anthony LaCaze, keeping his composure and making things happen here individually.
.691 for Matthew Tuckfield. Officially gives him 1974 all events. We hit the 1,000 mark. My goodness. Everybody tuning in for this 10th frame. We appreciate it. Get to see Steve Novak throw some pins around as well, but the main story here, Anthony LaCaze finishing it up as he's going to take over the all events lead here at the USBC Open Championships. What a performance.
Certainly a great run and a great couple of days for these guys, looking sharp in their team jerseys and having a whole experience as the defending champs, and now capping it off with the all events lead. A lot of great bowlers around us looking on, doing the math as well. We'll have the unofficial numbers here in just a couple of minutes. We'll not have a repeat in team all events. Man of the hour, Anthony LaCaze. Needs 234 to tie, 235 to own it. Still got 279 out there. 22-28 was the number. LaCaze looking to raise the bar here. One frame to go.
That officially does it. Anthony LaCaze. In the driver's seat.
Time for Tony to pile it on. Get that bar as high as he can. So I'm having a feeling here that the guys behind me right now are seeing this as motivation, not intimidation.
I think you're right there, Matt. Second shot of the 10th. Takes care of business. What a performance, Anthony LaCaze. Cool, calm, collected.
Classy guys right here, Mr. Smith.
And your new regular all events leader. 1075, watching live. Final ball coming up. Trying to finish off 279 for 742, 2273. Takes care of business. Team coming in. They're bringing it in for the real thing.
What a great weekend for all of these bowlers, both of these teams finding success over at the Women's Championships yesterday and the day before, and now Anthony LaCaze doing the all events thing here.
$22.73 unofficially. The fourth highest all events total in Open Championships history.
Tell you what, he just got congratulated by some great players. 2007 All Events champ Mike Rose Jr., Rob Gottschall, Team USA member Adam Barta. He's got a whole nation of his own. Brian Walczek, PBA regional champ. Those guys, also classy guys, and you know, you're somebody. And Anthony LaCaze certainly earning every bit of those congratulations from his teammates as well as those guys who bowl tonight at 7 p.m. We'll get some thoughts from Anthony here in a few minutes, and of course from team captain Erik Vermilyea on the overall experience and the run at a second consecutive team all events title. Came up a little bit short here, but we're going to focus on the man of the hour, Anthony LaCaze. We'll have some more unofficial numbers for you here in just a minute, and then the final numbers will be on bowl.com later today. We'll have the recap for you, the official standings. And the recap to the world, our weekly update to the press tomorrow afternoon. Great show today, almost 1,100 folks here to watch Anthony LaCaze take the singles lead at or all events lead at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Unofficially 22-73. Tim Damrau, previous leader, 22-28. Damrau still has the doubles lead at 13.78, and team all events, a big number, 10,363. So some great bowling all around. We're getting ready to wrap things up here. Aaron Smith is doing the calculations.
All right, unofficially, as we take a look at the scoreboard there, unofficially, Anthony LaCaze leads the way for Junior Team USA Support number 1 with a now leading 22-73. Is followed by Erik Vermilyea, 2013. Matthew Tuckfield, 1974. Steve Novak, 1967. Jeffrey Mersch, 1857. Unofficially comes out to 10,084. So a little short of the leading number, but still a fantastic performance. And what a show by Anthony LaCaze.
Absolutely, and we're going to go talk to Anthony and the rest of the guys as the squad wraps up. We got a front 7 right next to us, so we'll keep an eye on that. And if Randy Bowers manages to shoot 300, we'll have a recap of that on bowl.com as well later today. But for now, this is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. We are live at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. We're going to shut it down here. We're going to say goodbye and go and talk to these guys. We appreciate everybody joining us today for the defending Team All Events champion, Junior Team USA Support number 1 out of Mansfield, Texas. It came up a little bit short. New All Events leader, Anthony LaCaze. Thank you all for joining us again. That is the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.